Hello YouTube, my name is RadiantXela and this is another Star Wars Destiny deck profile. Today I'll be talking about one that has been requested, which is my Obiwan Maz Kanata blue-yellow hero deck with cards from Spirit of Rebellion. This deck is 90% complete, I would say, at this point, and has been showing so much promise, showing so much consistency, and winning almost every game by playing the exact same cards over and over and over and over again. Controlling your dice, your own dice, is what this deck is all about, and you get to strike for at least 3 damage every round or put down a very expensive upgrade in place of the damage that you could choose to sacrifice. So without further ado, I'll show you what I've got. So the lineup of this deck is of course Elite Obiwan Kenobi at 20 points and a regular Maz Kanata at 8 points. To me, sacrificing a die off of Maz isn't really that big of a deal, because what you actually want her for is of course her effect that says that when she activates you get to resolve 2 of your dice without wasting an action on doing that. In a deck with as much focus as this, as you can see I start with 4 focus dice my side of the board. That effect is such a good way to control into what you actually want to get during your next turn. For the battlefield, I'm using Cargo Hold, a Spirit of Rebellion battlefield, with the effect to switch upgrades from one character to another, breaking the rules of the game, because when you move something, you can do so in spite of play restrictions, which is just so good. Now, Obi-Wan has the Guardian effect, and this is not there to protect Maz, as some people might suggest. Of course, that's a bonus. It is actually there to remove the dice of that could be Count Dooku in a mill deck. If he rolls melee and you take away that die before your opponent gets to reroll it into discard sides, you've already benefited greatly. His before this character is defeated effect is of course also a bonus, but he is rarely the first one to go, and as such that effect is rarely ever used with the deck, unless you've managed to put on him the second chance cheat that I think is going to get an FAQ or something, that are going to change how that functions at this point of the game. So without further ado, I'll dive into the deck and tell you about it. I'm running 2 Destiny. It's probably my favorite event in the entire game right now, and it's a Spirit of Rebellion common. It says remove any number of your blue dice to put a card from your hand into play for free that costs equal to or less than the combined value of the blue dice you just removed. So by rolling a single free melee on Obi-Wan, you get a free force throw using Destiny. That is such a good card for resource management that I can scarcely believe it at this point. I'm running 2 Trust Your Instincts, an uncommon from Spirit of Rebellion. This says spot a blue character to reveal any number of its character and upgrade dice, then you may draw a card. So what this does is it saves you the discard 1 card to reroll your dice, and instead says reroll any number of your dice and then get a bonus card. Basically, why I like this is because it means that you can play with 28 cards in your deck, giving you a much higher chance of getting the cards you actually want. Now, this deck is sketched after the deck that you can see if you watch my tournament video. So I have 2 Determination in there, but these will have been removed by the time this video has been uploaded. What Determination does is that if you have 1 or more dice showing a focus, you can resolve one of your dice if it was showing a different symbol. And that has been great at some points, like using one with the Force Disrupt to do 3 damage, gain 3 resources. There's a lot of place with it. However, this is going out for 2 all in. So at the time of this video, that will have been changed. I'm running 2 Electroshock, and I can scarcely believe I'm saying this, but by the time this video is uploaded, these will also have been removed, and they will be removed for high ground. Now what Electroshock does is that you pay 1, spot a yellow character, and remove a die showing a value of 2 or lower. What this does in this deck is nothing, because Maz is usually killed unless you manage to get down second chance on her. Statistically speaking, this card has not been performing as well with this deck as it has in my other decks, and so I'm removing it for the high ground card or Overconfidence from Spirit of Rebellion that also remove dice but doesn't require you to spot characters. Running 2 Love Cat and Mouse, this is basically he doesn't like you, but your opponent gets to choose which of your dice gets removed, which makes it a bit weaker, but it hasn't downperformed for me, and as such has become a staple in yellow hero decks to my playstyle. I'm running 2 guard, which is probably one of the best removal cards in the game for Obi-Wan and Luke. So what it does is that you remove one of your blue dice showing melee damage to remove a number of an opponent's die equal to the value of the die you just removed. Again, a card scaling on the fact that both Obi-Wan and Luke can roll freeze naturally without the lightsaber. So you play this, remove your own free damage, nah, that's a bit weak, but if you remove 6 damage doing so, it's clearly worth it in a control deck. Now, this card I'm running at 1 and I'm trying to argue for 2. Decisive Blow. It says pay free, and that's where you go, maybe not so much. But it says resolve one of your dice showing melee damage and remove all character and upraise dice to the character that was dealt damage to. So you strike your opponent who has activated Jango Fett with this thing, and then you get to remove all of his dice for free. Not for free, but for free. For the number 3, of course. So that is what I call a great game-changing and game-winning removal effect that also deals a bit of damage. Now for the supports, I only have 2. It binds all things that reduce the cost of blue upgrades as you're about to play them. Pretty stable in most blue decks. When I was new to this game, I didn't like this card, but it has become so potent with all of my decks, saving my resources for the events that I so desperately need to push through. Now, my one and only 0 cost upgrade is Force Speed, a legendary from Spirit of Rebellion that lets you take up to 2 additional actions using its special, and as you can see, probably it has 3 special sides and a focus, meaning that you'll always get something good from this card. I don't think I've ever actually rolled the armor, the shield I mean, unless I was also going to use it for Destiny. So yeah, it's a crazy card for taking up to 2 additional actions. Is so many levels of powerful. Another Spirit of Rebellion upgrade is Force Heal. This one is very debatable and very testing right now. What it does is that it provides you with resources or shields or healing essentially, but it can only go on Obi-Wan unless you cheat using cargo hold. Its special reads heal 1 damage from a character or spend a resource to heal 2 damage from a character. Now this is funny because you could potentially heal your opponent if you should ever so desire. Of course what I use it for is healing Maz because she tanks everything. Everybody wants to kill Maz at this point in the game. I'm running 2 Cunning, which has clearly become my favorite card, I think, or my favorite upgrade at least, in the game. Why? Because it kills down the meta. People have so many powerful specials these days, like the new Darth Vader card. If you play Cunning against him, you can use Cunning special to deal 4 damage to your opponent's Darth Vader. That is so powerful, and there are so many more guns like Ascension Gun and such that could allow you to use your cargo hold effect when they're used against you. That is so good. Also, it has focus, which is nice. 2 Force Training is by now a staple, I guess, in blue decks. It has a ranged side that I'm not a fan of, but it does have +2 melee and a focus, and the special, and it also only requires you to spot a blue character to play, and can be played onto Maz if you should so desire. So yeah, it's a pretty stable card. Most likely you'll play this in the early game and then override it with either a Force Throw or one with the Force in the late game. Or you can play it on Maz to reduce the cost of Second Chance. Now, Second Chance is a great upgrade in a deck that runs Obi-Wan and Cargo Hold, because right now the rules clearly state that any before effect goes on chain early in the game, but the one who has the battlefield or the one who has them active, if your opponent doesn't have a before effect active at the same time as you, gets to choose the order. So you could potentially choose that, let's say Obi-Wan is about to be defeated, you resolve his special, getting a free blue, you get the one with the Force upgrade on him, then one with the Force before kicks in, and it becomes a support, and then you get to use the Second Chance that you have moved onto Obi-Wan with Cargo Hold, because you decide the queue line. This needs an FAQ, this needs to be fixed. You cannot get free effects for free with Obi-Wan. This needs an FAQ that states if you want to resolve Second Chance, it has to be the first card in the chain to resolve, which would completely break off this combo, but as of right now, before Spirit of Rebellion FAQs, this is a great card. And if they do not FAQ this, this will become meta. Playing Second Chance on other characters to then yellows to resurrect them and then go for the whole chain as I just did there is going to be game changing. Now, 2 Force Throws. If you don't know what this is, you haven't bought the starter deck, but what it is the best removal upgrade in the game. It removes your opponent's dice and deal damage equal to their value using its special. Can only be placed on blue characters, can be switched using cargo hold. It is a very good card. Unfortunately, it has no focus, but that is about the only downside to it. I'm running 2 regular lightsabers to get more melee sides because I need those for... Also, it has a free side as well, so I need it for Destiny and for Guard. Usually, this actually doesn't get to do any damage, but I could also potentially use it if Maz is about to die to ride on her, override on one of her cunnings, and then move it onto Obi-Wan so he will have a better fighting chance in the end. Of course, that would cost you a resource and it binds all things, but mostly this deck has access to just those 2 things. A single Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. I don't like running 2 of each unique weapon if I can get around doing so in these decks, because you will never get to have both on the field at the same time. Now, Luke Skywalker's lightsaber is crazy good in this deck because it has 2 sides showing 3 and 1 side showing 2, making it great with Destiny. And since the 2 frees are also melee sides, it is also great with guard control. The special deals unblockable damage or gives you shields, which gives it a variety that the meta is clearly in need of right now. Last 2 cards of the deck is of course one with the Force, and I believe I already explained how this combos well with Obi-Wan and Second Chance. It also combos well with Obi-Wan in itself, as when Obi-Wan is defeated, you get to play this card for free. You also get to just play this card at reduced cost at most times because of it binds all things and then placing it down for free by removing Force Training. It has a lot of focus sides, which makes it great with All In or Determination based on whether or not you're running the old edition or the new one that I've discussed so far. My name's been RadiantXela, and thank you for watching this. This was my video of the Obiwan Maz deck, and I will see you all next time. What up guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, remember to like, subscribe and give any comments for further suggestions that you would like to see in my videos. If you liked what you saw here, then make sure you go to my sponsor KelsolDK for any of your nerdy card gamey anime kind of needs. That is KELZ0R.DK. They ship internationally to every country in the world, and if you enter the coupon code RXYouTube into the commentary field with your purchase, you will get a mystery gift discount for purchasing. Again, thank you so much for watching this. Go there, get your good stuff, and I will see you all next time.